means you're going back to kindergarten.
Oh, gross. All right, welcome back to another School Principal Reacts. My name is Brandon, and I'm a school principal from the U.S. state of Georgia. Doing something a little bit different today. You all have been asking for this for quite some time. It's an episode of The Amazing World of Gumball. I'm not quite sure what I've gotten myself into here, but I'm going to start with an episode called The Grades. A number of you have recommended different episodes that you'd like me to look at. Please continue to do that if you would like me to see other episodes of Gumball. But I'm going to start with this one today. I've not seen it. I've seen little bits of Gumball here and there before, but not very much. I know it's a little crazy, but let's get into it. If you're not subscribed and you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Let's go. Here we go. The grades.
Lucy, what's wrong with your face?
I'm smiling, isn't it obvious?
No, it looks like you're trying to eat your own chin.
How about there? Yes? I just lack practice.
Why are you trying to smile anyway?
I found it.
Let's not jump to conclusions. It could be any Principal Brown on that FBI warrant. It's common.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure here until he just said principal. It could be any principal problem, whatever he means. So I take it this monkey is the teacher, and this, I think you guys said it was a slug, is the principal, Mr. Brown. I've been waiting to see him and add him to my list of principals that I've seen in these various shows and movies. So she's here in his office, which would be really weird. If you as a principal walked in and there was a teacher sitting at your desk, that would be a real problem. But let's see what happens here.
My name? Listen, I'm not a furry. I just wanted to know what I'd look like with a tail.
What? What else have you been hiding? She knows. Finish her now before she tells all the others.
No, that's it. So what is it that you found exactly?
I don't know what that was, but let's keep going.
What is the one thing that would improve the quality of life of everyone in this school by 1,000%?
Money?
Better.
More money?
Even better.
Real food in the vending machines?
No, even better.
Yeah, so I don't know what she's talking about here either. She asks him what would improve the quality of life for everyone, and he immediately says money, and that would improve quality of life for, I guess, the people who work there, but that's about it. As far as other quality of life things, he mentions real food in the vending machines. Yeah, I've never seen this. So most schools now do have plenty of vending machines. Every school I've ever been at have had that in some form on some level. And it is helpful to have those, not as a substitute for the regular school meals, but either snacks or after school. It is helpful to have those.
I was looking through Gumball Watterson's records, and he failed a test in kindergarten. His grade point average is void. I knew I was right to give up on him early. Let's celebrate.
Yeah, and so I don't exactly know these characters. I've seen bits and pieces of Gumball in the past, but not much. I love the animation style. It's sort of a weird blend of realistic looking surroundings and a totally, animated characters. But she says, he failed a test in kindergarten, so now his grade point average is void. It doesn't work like that. And there's been so many movies that I've seen where it's like, oh, this person, Billy Madison was like this. And there's an episode on the channel of the Flintstones that's like this, where they have to go back to school, even though they're an adult. It just doesn't work like that. So in this case, she mentions a grade point average. You really only talk about grade point averages in high school. Before that, they're just your grades. They're your grades, and you get an A, B, C, or an F. So I'm going to assume they're in high school, but I don't really know that. I don't know the show well enough yet to know that. And once you pass a particular grade, including kindergarten, if you're promoted to the next grade, then you're promoted to the next grade. It's just silly to think that, okay, they found some sort of error years back, and so they're going to put you back in kindergarten or something weird like that. That just would never happen. But let's see.
What is that?
Dancing?
Looks like you're trying to shake out a tapeworm.
Join in.
Okay.
See, this is how you do it. Working.
What's happening here? No, you can't do that. And I guess this is a situation where the teacher just hates him and just wants to punish him all the time. And I've mentioned that I've seen teachers take things just a little bit too personally, but nothing like this, of course. I've never seen that. Just throwing a student out of the school, yeah, you can't do that, obviously. And again, I love the animation style. Everything's kind of real around them and they're animated.
What did I do wrong? Look at this question on the test you did 7 years ago. I go to the store and buy 10 hot dogs, 9
All right, 7 years ago. So I guess he's in 7th grade. So I'm wondering what she's going to do here.
burgers, 3 bags of chips, and 6 sodas. If I eat 9 hot dogs, 7 burgers, 3 bags of chips, and drink 5 sodas, what do I have? You answered no self-control. That was not the correct answer, which means your GPA is 1 point short.
And by the way, she mentions a GPA being 1 point short, whatever that means. Again, you don't really start calculating a GPA until your freshman year of high school. Up until that point, your goal academically is really just, of course, to learn the content, but also to be promoted to the next grade, which you may see some level of difference in that from school to school, but the school decides, okay, they've met the criteria to be promoted to the next grade or they haven't. If he is really in 7th grade, because she said kindergarten was 7 years ago for him, they wouldn't really be talking so much about grade point averages. And if some sort of grading error was made in kindergarten, I mean, it would just be silly to even talk about that. But then again, this is a silly show, so let's keep going.
Do you know what that means?
Gumball's Peruvian antelope?
What? No, it's grade point average, and it means you're going back to...
She asks, do you know what that means? GPA, Gumball's Peruvian antelope. No, it's grade point average. And in case you don't know what that is, it's really just an averaging of all of your grades all through high school, 9th through 12th grade. That's why I will typically talk to all of the new freshmen and say, look, starting now, your transcript begins and this will follow you forever. I don't say it quite like that, but it is true. It does follow you forever. And it really is the beginning of all of the grades that will be factored into your grade point average.
Kindergarten.
So he goes back to kindergarten. And I've seen this on a lot of shows, and it would never happen in a million years, but it is pretty entertaining.
Have a great first day at school, honey.
Oh, man. And, I'm no expert, but as kindergartens go, that shouldn't be happening. Where's the teacher, by the way? I guess we'll meet a teacher here in a moment. Oh, gross. Where's the teacher? Oh. Okay, wow. He's traumatized. Oh, this is nap time. Oh.
They just waddle around with their pants down, grabbing everything they see and putting it in their mouths. They get into fights for no reason and end up crying and hugging. Then they just go on slurring unintelligible nonsense until they pass out wherever they feel like it. They're like British tourists.
All I mean is that not only do you not have...
So obviously he's exaggerating it. I think back to the episode of Recess that I did, the first one actually, where they say, oh, they're the kindergartners and they're these tribal people. They're poking fun, but the truth behind it is, I mean, kindergartners, if you're in kindergarten, you're either 5 years old or 6 years old in most cases. And so you're still learning to control yourself and impulse control and a lot of other things. And so it's really challenging to be a kindergarten teacher because you're not just there to play. You know, the way it was portrayed here, they just played the whole entire time. I mean, you're there to learn. Now, it looks a lot different than when you get older, but you're there to learn primarily, not just play. But some of the behaviors that you see in kindergarten are a little bit different, and they're exaggerating them here. You can sort of tell what the stereotypes are about kindergarten. Still haven't seen a kindergarten teacher, but there must have been one in there. Typically for kindergarten, you're also going to have a paraprofessional. Back in the day, it was called teacher's aide. You may have heard that, but nowadays we refer to that as a paraprofessional, someone that does not have a full-blown teaching degree, but assists the teacher in the management of the class.
Homework. But while we were stuck in lessons, today you got to play with toys, took 2 naps, and 1 good boy points whenever you made it to the bathroom on time.
What are you trying to say?
Stop going on about how good your day was.
You're right.
Thank you, finally.
No, I mean, you're right. My day was awesome. I just need to get rid of my inhibitions.
Sure.
Ew, what's that?
My inhibitions.
Yeah, what?
Oh, allow me to explain.
That's what they were doing.
Hey, dude, got some TP? Oh.
Yeah, that first scene was kind of wild. They were putting all kind of stuff in his mouth and it would come out his ears. It was pretty gross. But now I guess he's lost his inhibitions or thrown them away, and he's just going to behave like they are. I hope they are expected to actually learn something, or do they just do this for hours on end? And still no teacher.
There.
Is he painting?
It needs more yellow. There.
Mr. Brown, here we go.
Nigel, what's wrong? You look like a biscuit that's been dunked.
I've been crying.
Why?
I watched this video of an orangutan saving a baby bird from drowning.
Why?
To remind myself that apes are not just terrifying creatures that bite people's fingers off when they lose it.
Like the teacher?
Okay, right now I'm talking to you as Nigel Brown,
Brain
your
Academy.
kind, supportive partner, the man you've loved for years, who would never hurt
Nigel
you, and
Brown.
a man you would never hurt.
Go on.
I'm guessing he's got some sort of news for her, and he's afraid that she might go nuts on him if he tells her. But let's see.
But that man is also the school principal, and he's a duty to inform you that by putting Gumball in kindergarten, you're 1 student short of the school board's targets, and if he's not back in your class by Friday, you're fired!
Okay, so that's a lot. So he said that by putting him back in kindergarten, you're 1 student short. You're 1 student short of the school board's targets, and if he's not back in your class by Friday, you're fired. That's quite a lot. So a couple of things there. She would not be fired for not having enough students. That's not how it works. Now, sometimes, though, at the beginning of a school year, particularly, you will count the number of students that you have on the first day of school and maybe the 3rd day of school and on up to the 10th day. And in a lot of places, particularly here in Georgia, on that 10th day, you might make some adjustments in the staffing, meaning particularly in a larger school district, if you've got a school that has way more or way less students than projected, like let's say people moved over the summer and a particular school has way too many students, they will typically around that 10th day transfer teachers from one school to another in order to accommodate for that, because obviously you don't want, classes over full and having, 40 plus or even more students in them. By the same token, if you do have too few students, like Mr. Brown is describing here, you might have to consolidate and move the teacher that you no longer need to another school or another class, but she wouldn't just be fired like that. That wouldn't happen.
I understand.
Really? That's so sweet of you.
Yeah, now she'd be fired for that. She wouldn't be fired for not having enough students, but she would be fired for biting the principal's hands. Yeah, that would be a bit of a problem.
Gumball, why is air invisible?
Because scientists thought it was too ugly to look at and no one would want to breathe it in.
Gumball, where do clouds come from?
From bird flatulence.
Gumball, where does rain come from?
It's the moon's eyes watering from all the bird flatulence. What do you want?
Shh, they'll hear.
Maybe. But as long as we use words with multiple syllables, there's no way they'll understand.
Uh,
What is it anyway?
There's some truth to that too. Think about it. If you're a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old and you hear a lot of multi-syllable words and just more complex language, you're not going to understand it. So yeah, that would work.
You've already demoted me to kindergarten. Where next? My mom's belly?
Do you want to get back to your old class?
No way! I love it here.
Yeah.
Everyone looks up to me. I mean, mainly because of the height difference, but it's still a good feeling.
Huh? How can you enjoy it here?
It's a world of scheduled nap times, optional pants, and food you don't need to chew.
You just described a retirement home.
Exactly. I get to retire without ever having a job.
I don't know about the
love this
optional
place.
pants part.
Okay, I got a level with you. If you don't come back, I'm fired.
Mm.
As if I needed more reasons to stay here.
It's like, oh, that's another reason for me to stay here. And again, that wouldn't happen. But he now likes kindergarten, and the teacher that was so mean to him is going to be fired. He's like, well, why should I try to leave?
What are you doing? It's weird.
I'm crying.
It looks like you're trying to lay an egg with your face. Please stop. Stop it! Okay, fine. I'll come back.
Thank you.
Please, I said I'd come back.
I'm not doing anything.
Oh, that's your normal face, isn't it?
Oh.
The only problem is you need to pass a test in order to prove you belong in my class.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to study like you've never studied before.
Let's go!
Okay. Wow. So when she said that, I thought, well, he's going to have to take the kindergarten test? But no, apparently grade 8. And she said kindergarten was 7 years ago, and that would put him in 7th grade, but maybe he's in 8th. It says math grade 8, algebra, geometry, trigonometry problems, and more. Which most of that is more advanced than 8th grade. You typically wouldn't have a geometry, or they don't even call it trigonometry anymore. It's more like advanced algebra or algebra 2, or it goes by other name, pre-calculus. Pre-calculus is what I'm used to. But yeah, that would be way more advanced than Gumball probably has to test for. Yeah.
So?
What do I do? I've literally never studied before.
Are you kidding me? All these years of teaching you? Just go to your mind palace or whatever and try to remember how to study.
Okay.
Mind
I'll
palace.
try.
More like a mind cupboard.
Mm.
Okay, Watterson, time to roll up your sleeves.
What? More work?
No, roll up your sleeves so I can write the answers on your arm.
But that's
Ooh.
cheating.
Cheating.
Yeah?
She's going to cheat on her own test. This is kind of weird. I wonder, is Mr. Brown going to administer the test? And as a teacher, you can't condone cheating. I mean, you can get in some pretty big trouble for that. I mentioned before that there was a big cheating scandal here in Georgia and Atlanta some years ago, and some of the principals that participated even went to jail. But that was on the state assessments. But that was on the state mandated assessments that students take every year, the standardized tests. But yeah, you can't cheat. If you're the teacher, you can't condone cheating. You just can't.
But if you rearrange the letters in the word teaching, what do you get?
Eating?
What? No! Cheating!
Mm.
Isn't that wrong?
Only if
I guess that's true. Yeah, I never thought of that. But if you do rearrange teaching, you can get cheating out of it. But that doesn't make it right, of course.
you get caught. Look, when I was your age, I cheated too.
What the what right now?
I scribbled the answers on the cave wall.
Oh, so that's what cave paintings are. Okay, what's the best way for me to cheat?
In your case, every way.
Right, Watterson.
Okay. So I guess Mr. Brown is administering the test, which is a little unusual. And he's calculating the volume of a sphere and the volume of various three-dimensional objects, area, and I was not a math teacher, but some of this, particularly the calculating volume, may be too advanced for him, but I don't know. I would have to go through and look at the standards for 8th grade math, but I know there's no trigonometry like he was reading out of that book.
Have 1 hour.
1 hour.
Begin.
Okay, plan A.
Plan A. Ugh. Written it on his tongue.
I can't read it.
Why?
It's all
Never seen that
backwards.
method.
I wrote it in front of a mirror.
Okay, plan B.
Plan B.
Oh no, it goes dark when I close my eyes.
Just pull on them. Watch out.
Or the eyelids.
What is going on here?
Just, visualizing my answers?
Oh, I've always wondered what that would look like from the outside.
Hmm.
Carry on.
Plan C then.
Huh?
Pull harder.
Oh.
Hmm.
I hope that organ wasn't a vital one.
Yeah, it's getting a little gross. But so he tries to write it on various parts of his body, which I've seen people do that before, but not on the tongue, the eyes, or whatever that was. I've never seen that before.
Next plan.
Sir,
Yes.
can I use the bathroom?
Hmm.
Sure.
So, did you use the notes we left in there?
Yep.
Good.
But I have to say, I prefer 2-ply paper.
Yeah.
Softer.
He asked, "Did you use the notes?" And he says, "I prefer 2-ply." I'll let you figure that one out for yourself. But I mentioned before that there are tests where they do monitor that, and they don't just let you go for this reason. Particularly with things like AP exams from College Board, where you can get college credit, you are sometimes escorted to the bathroom. Granted, they might not go all the way in there with you, but they're going to try and watch out for any potential cheating because they know that people try to do that.
Yeah. Okay, next plan. Use the water bottle.
Oh yeah, thanks.
I meant the label. Read the label.
Cycle after use. Oh, of course.
The answers were written inside the label. What is
So are we on
wrong with
playing
you?
D or E now?
Use these.
I can't read that.
Don't worry, I've got this.
Oh,
Never mind. I'll write the answers
it's
on
not
wood.
working out.
Tag nabbit, it's too hot outside.
Watson, you have 5 minutes
Uh-oh.
remaining.
Okay, here we go.
5 minutes.
Okay, Watson, I've marked your test, and I've got some bad news. I'll see you back in 8th grade tomorrow.
Ooh, an A+.
You got an A+? But how?
Must have been all the time we spent going over it.
Wait, so you actually...
Yes, I actually learned something.
And a pleasure to keep you with us too, Miss Simeon.
Good job, Watterson.
Hmm.
I guess you didn't...
I guess somehow from planning to cheat, he spent enough time with the material to learn it somehow. I don't know if that would work in real life, but it seems to have worked here, I guess. And again, she wouldn't be fired for not having enough students, but in real life, it may be that she doesn't have to split her class up. In a real world scenario, you might dissolve her class and split it amongst some of the other classes and send her to a different classroom or a different school. Now that happens in real life, but just firing her, no, that doesn't happen.
Need me after all to help you choose your pen for the test.
Mhm.
Yeah, it really helped. It meant I could focus and didn't need to cheat like you did in the 8th grade.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Sure. Yeah, so that's the episode, and I guess she's in there with him now because she cheated. That's a pretty funny ending. But, and again, I love the animation style. It looks like a real classroom, and then they're all crazily animated there. But enjoyed that one. I look forward to some more, reacting to some more Gumball content. Let me know in the comments if there's a specific episode you think I should look at. I did, in particular, want to see the principal from this school in Gumball and see how he was. Mr. Brown, I do quite like him. He seemed very ethical, kind of a straight shooter, and wanted to, make sure everything was done the right way and was respectful also. And, even to the point of not wanting to make the teacher mad and all of that. But enjoyed that. I love the whimsical style of Gumball. Can't wait to do more episodes. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you next time on School Principal Reacts. Thanks for watching.